Okay, hi there, Mechaniacs. This is Jeff Wooten back again to help you with the details of another exercise which we practice in dynamic power training. In this video, we're going to focus on the dive bomber push-up. Now, I am sure that you've seen the dive bomber performed on video or in person. And usually, this push up, as with most other exercises, you'll see it done in a less than full range of motion. Now, you probably know by now that in DPT, we emphasize a full range of motion in all exercise. The idea is always to move your joints as far as you can in order to maximize the elasticity in your joints, in fact, throughout your body and deep into the internal organs. That's the idea. Remember, the internal organs, the health of your internal organs, is far more important than your muscles and joints on the outside. So that's what we're targeting. That's why the full range of motion. So when you do the dive bomber, your objective should be ultimately to get your chest down to the floor, down to the mat. And if you can get your chest down to the mat, that means you're maximizing the range of motion movement of your shoulder blades and your spine. And then when you arch up into the spread leg upward dog, you're again hitting the spine with a major arch and the pelvis. So remember those three bones and joints at the center, the core of your body: shoulder blades, spine, and pelvis. The objective is to move those three joints through a full range of motion, understanding that when you do this, because the fascia is continuous from the outside of your body down into the inside of your body, you're stretching and twisting the internal organs. So you're maximizing the reach, the tonus of your internal organs, the viscera. That's the idea. So let's get into the actual details of this exercise. Notice that Just Jen, and she's doing the demonstration here, Just Jen Buckholz, she's in a spread leg down dog. Palms are pressing into the mat, fingertips are spread. The objective in this beginning posture is to imagine making a straight line from your lower back to your hands. So you want to push that chest down and back to start. When you move, again, the objective is to get the hips involved as well as the spine and shoulder blades. So pigeon-toed feet pressing down towards the legs. So now we begin. In the beginning, the elbows should flare out to the side. The chin is up. The chest goes down towards the ground. Again, your objective is to ultimately reach the ground with your chest if you can. The elbows must flare out in order to allow the shoulder blades to come together. So Jen moves forward here. In this case, she's going to pause in the low position. So here, her body is suspended off of the ground. She's on her toes. The hips are down in line with the rest of her trunk and her neck. Very good position here. Chest is very close to the ground, if not physically touching the ground. Now at this point, the second object is to do an upward facing dog. Notice here the shoulders, she's moving the shoulders away from the ears, depressing the shoulders, arching her back to the fullest. She's still on her toes. And notice again, spread leg, up dog. She went from down dog to up dog. The glutes are engaged, so there's a full stretch, not only of the trunk muscles, but the inside muscles as well. Palms are flat on the ground. She's looking up at the ceiling. In fact, the objective is to try to look for the back wall behind you. This is a very good arch here. So that's the second step in a 4-step dive bomber. Now, coming from this position, to go back for the pause, going back down to the low push-up position. Again, she's doing a 4-step dive bomber as opposed to a continuous dive bomber in order to demonstrate each of the steps. A 4-step dive bomber is a little bit more difficult because you have to pause at each point. So now at the 3rd step, she's back at the low push-up position again, millimeters off of the ground with her chest, if not physically touching the ground, but she is suspending her weight in the air. Elbows out to the sides. So the last step is she's going to do what you would know of in bench pressing or dumbbell pressing as shoulder presses. Notice she's going to push her weight back towards the back wall. She's pushing her hips towards the back wall. She's not going to do a push up first and then to the down dog. She's pushing straight to the back wall into the down dog position, just like that. Very cool. So that's a 4-step dive bomber, starting from the spread leg down dog, moving into the low push-up position, in this case, millimeters off of the ground, as low as you can get without actually resting on the ground, arching up into upward facing dog, spread leg. You should be on your toes, not the insides of your feet, going back to the low push-up, and then pushing straight back to the down dog, as opposed to pushing up and back into the down dog. We can't overemphasize this. So, just for GP, she's going to do the whole thing again. Swooping down. Look at that. Very good form. First step. Step number 2, arching up. Step number 3, low push up, pressing straight back. That's step number 4, into the spread leg down dog once again. Perfect 4-step dive bomber. Now remember, this is the 4-step dive bomber. To do an actual dive bomber, you would simply not pause between steps 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. You would simply go through all the steps continuously from downward dog to up dog, back to down dog, would be one repetition. Thank you guys for joining me again and for watching the video. And thank you, Just Jen, for such a great example. I'll see you guys next time.